As you know, every year the Catholic Church in the United States honors October as Pro-Life Month, and in a special way the first Sunday of October as Pro-Life Sunday. And so that's really where our focus is in our liturgy tonight. I think it's always wise to start with the foundation of the building, go down to the basement. So, what do we Catholics believe about human life? The Catechism of the Catholic Church, which is, of course, the official teachings of the Church, puts it, I think, clearly and beautifully. Catechism says, human life must be respected and protected absolutely from the moment of conception onward. From the first moment of his existence, it says, a human being must be recognized as having the rights of a person, among which is the right of every innocent being to life. Very, very clear. It goes on, since the first century, the Church has affirmed the moral evil of every procured abortion. In the Roman Empire, the first century, abortion was rampant. And so that early the Church said, no, that's wrong. That's not right. This teaching has not changed and remains unchangeable. Since it must be treated from conception as a person, the embryo must be defended in its integrity and cared for and healed as far as possible like any other human being. Wonderful statement. Clear, positive, uplifting about what we as Catholics believe about human life. As they say, we have a history as a pro-life movement in our country. There has been 44 years now of pro-life efforts in the United States. In that time, there has been a significant shift of opinion about abortion according to age groups. It's fascinating. According to age groups. In the 1970s, baby boomers were born between 1946 and 64. That was the Woodstock generation. And they came to age and we're changing radically, as you know, our society's values. I was there. I missed baby boomers by 3 years. I'm 3 years too old to be a baby boomer. But I sure saw it develop right before my eyes. They became the yuppies of the 1970s and 80s. And not all, of course, but many were very self-centered, self-absorbed, engaged in free love, considered marriage an option, and made divorce frequent and acceptable. They saw many of them children as a bother, as disrupting their lives. They saw also abortion as the answer to that problem. In today's seniors, they are much more supportive of abortion than were the seniors in the 1970s. You do a little study of seniors now and seniors in the 1970s, huge difference in terms of their support of abortion. Their children, now we go to the next generation, born between 1981 and 2000, are called the millennial generation. They are optimistic, they have strong views, and they are much more pro-life than their parents are. The last group, the latest group, born after 2000, seem also to be very committed to pro-life issues. Teenage pregnancy and birth and abortion rates are at 40 years lows among that group. They're called the I generation, I after iPhone. And for many, this is kind of neat, I think. I read this and it really struck me. For many in that generation, their very first picture was taken by ultrasound while they were still in their mother's wombs, showing them the undeniable humanity of the unborn. The millennials are known as the pro-life generation. Many of them are pro-life activists, disturbing the consciences of their elders, bringing the atrocities of abortion into public view, and bringing outreach efforts to colleges and universities all around our country. It's a wonderful scene. All the pro-life groups and campuses all over the United States. Where are we in the pro-life movement today? I think you could say it's a mixed bag. As you know, very sadly, this Thursday, our Governor, Rauner, signed a bill allowing state insurance and medical coverage for abortions. Very, very sad day for Illinois and for the pro-life movement. In our financially strapped state, I don't have to spend a lot of time on that topic, we now have to pay $1.8 million additionally in taxes to fund abortions. It's crazy. On the other side of the coin, Texas last week, same week, Texas joined over 25 other states in passing legislation restricting insurance policies from covering abortions. The head of Texas Right to Life said, "Americans do not want to subsidize other people's abortions." I think that's demonstrably true. He said, "This is a violation of conscience, and it should not be the role of government to force taxpayers to fund abortions." We couldn't agree more. So the landscape about abortion in our country continues to be a checkered one, with reasons for hope and setbacks existing side by side almost on a daily basis. The Church in her mercy clearly teaches God's law about the sacredness of human life. But I never like to speak on abortion without saying this. With our God, there is also mercy and healing to help women and men who've experienced the tragedy of abortion to leave it to God's mercy and move on. Obviously, it includes confession, offering Mass for the child. Rachel's Vineyard does wonderful work. I've been privileged to do Rachel's Vineyard work with many, many people over the years trying to cover from an abortion. There is life after an abortion for the person who's gone through it. Anyone you know, please have them call me, Father Jerome, Father Simon. We'll be happy to walk with them. There's even some regular steps that we're encouraged to take with a person because there is always God's mercy and there's always hope. Don't ever let anybody tell you otherwise. The bottom line is that we believe that from the first moment of conception, every child is precious in God's eyes. I have a great story about that. As you know, I'm one of 9 boys, and our farmhouse was south of Dixon, right on Route 26, which was a busy route, a lot of cars, a lot of trucks. And one of the neighbor ladies said to Mom one day, "You're so lucky you have 9 boys. If one of them got hit by a truck or something, you'd still have 8 left." And Mom said, "Did you have any suggestions of who that should be?" Or why is that funny? It's funny because every child is precious. Every child is unique. Every child is unrepeatable. Each human being is of infinite value. To be created by God is incredible. You, I were created by God. That's an incredible statement. It's an incredible truth. Each second of our life and of every other life, from the first moment of our conception on, was the object of God's love. That's the basis of our dignity. God, from the moment we're in the womb till the day of our death, we are the object of God's love. So, what is our response with this time that we are living in? Obviously, God wants us here. We're alive now. What is our response? First of all, and seriously, I would say pray. We spent an hour this afternoon with the pro-life chain along Route 14. Undergird all your efforts with prayer. Prayer is powerful. It changes things. So many in the pro-life movement today were in the pro-abortion camp. Many of the women have had abortions, and they became crusaders, heroes in the pro-life movement. Doctors who performed abortions. I always think of Dr. Bernard Nathanson, who performed thousands of abortions. Why did they change? Prayer. Prayer changes hearts. Prayer changes the landscape. Pray, number 1. Number 2, don't be afraid to speak up, to defend the pro-life position. Don't just go with the flow. Stand up, care, be involved, be passionate. Babies' lives are at stake. This isn't a small issue. And our involvement can make a difference. The First Way Pregnancy Center up in Johnsburg does wonderful work with pregnant mothers who are debating whether or not to have an abortion. Whenever they tell me these stories, I realize one of our best allies today in the pro-life cause is the medical community. Medical science is a huge help to us. And the lady was saying to me, Father, if we can get that young woman to see her baby on the ultrasound is so clear today, so advanced. If we can get a young pregnant woman to see her baby on our ultrasound, she never has an abortion. She never goes through with it. It's true. Medical science is our ally. And so, what's the message? There's few causes more noble in our society today than the pro-life cause. Don't give up. Don't say, gee, it's been 44 years, I give up. No. Be a pro-life apostle. Speak of pro-life issues. Don't hesitate to defend human life at all of its stages. That life you're speaking to will be blessed by your giving them the truth of our Catholic faith.